It's not like you don't know they're coming. October 11th, 2020. Still got some nice maters coming out. We'll dry here again. It's been a couple weeks since we had any rain. This cosmos, however you say that singular, is getting ready to blow up. See a little one down there that popped from under the canopy. Leaf colors are changing. I guess it's that time of year. Cover crops are taking off. Nice to see these Austrian winter peas really taking off. Supposed to have like an inch of rain in the next day or so, Monday, Tuesday. So that'll be good timing. Help keep these cover crops rolling. Sunflowers are finishing off. This last planting is starting to go to maturity. I was down looking at those in the curve block last night. Looks like it's time to go through and start harvesting some of those soon. That cover crop zone down there is starting to turn a nice green to it. That's beautiful. So here in the onions, they were under these weeds all season. And when I mowed through here the other day, I wasn't looking all that close, so I thought there weren't too many that actually survived. But actually, even though they are super small, quite a few survived. And they're pretty nice. So I'll have to come through and pull those out. Probably should do that tonight before the rain. Anyway, they'll be nice for cooking with. It's a little cool out today. Probably lower 60s, I would guess. Might even be as low as upper 50s. My thermometer's off after a warm summer. Well, you know, my personal thermometer. But still some bee activity coming in. They're still pulling resources. And after this rain passes, I'm going to put some sugar feed out for them and try and backfill these nests with some good carbs. Make sure they got plenty of power to go for the winter. Just look at those beautiful colors. Battery's about to go belly up. Time to charge. Alright, we caught a little charge off the solar power panels. Should get us through for the rest of today's filming. Just harvested all those little tiny onions that were hanging out. Get them in here in this crate. There's some airflow coming across them from the fan. Nice and warm in here. Shoot, I don't think the thermometer's in here anymore. Anyway, it's nice and warm in here. Feels good to come in here. Outside, it's nice out, but it's a little cool. Things are doing well. This hibiscus is starting to really shoot off some growth now that it's in this nice warm greenhouse environment. Lots of light again. Looking forward to watching that bloom out. And everything else is doing pretty good. This last round of holy basil seed is just about dry, ready to get packed in for processing for later. I don't know, this isn't really a greenhouse update, just a quick clip. I just still can't get over how incredible this turmeric keeps growing. Super exciting. coming through with a noisy mower, and a hawk just flew over and landed in this tree. I got the sun in my eyes, so I can't even tell if he's still there, or if I'm even got him on camera. That was worth a shot. Out here in the backfield, there aren't too many times a year that dogwood, that big red bush looking tree right there, aren't too many times a year that isn't beautiful. Just thought I'd share it. The thing I actually stopped in here to show was the goldenrod staging. I know I've shown this in other videos, but I know I've picked up a lot of new viewers and subscribers this year, and I doubt they've gone back through the last 970 some videos on the channel here. So I just wanted to point out this area was mowed earlier in the season. I do this in sort of a staging here. This leaves some goldenrod late season for pollinators, especially my honeybees, who don't seem to be in it today, although their traffic is low due to cool temperatures. But you can see that there's a whole nother stage of flowering here on the goldenrod from doing this. So it's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of precisely targeted mowing, and I mean targeted by time-wise. And the results that you get, you can basically, yeah, there's a honeybee, and it's so cold she's just clinging, hanging. Ah, poor girl, it's gonna be a long night for you tonight, huh, sweetheart? Anyway, it provides a late nectar and pollen source that ordinarily, naturally would not be available without actually having to plant anything. I just mow this back a little bit later in the season. This year it was earlier in the season, but we had a drought season, and I never even did come back and do another mow on this. And, you know, again, it's not a huge area, but it's just a little extra pollen and nectar source, natural, that the pollinators, and especially my honeybees, can go after and pull in. And it's still in flower, like this here. When all the other goldenrod is almost completely gone and done and gone by, there's just another little puff at the end of the season. And for those of you who are familiar with honeybees, you know how critical it is for them to have good resources built up and accumulated to get through the winter. This provides one last little window for them that would otherwise not be normally available to them. So I just wanted to point that out. Alright, so this is later in the day, and came back and mowed this after I harvested the onions out. Obviously it's a rough mow. Not really intended to make a clean mow, just kind of chopping it up enough that I can get back in here with a tiller. I know in previous videos I had told you and showed you that I seeded rye into here. The germination rate wasn't great, though we haven't had a tremendous amount of rain to really help it. But I have an extra bag, another 2-pound bag of Austrian winter pea, and I think I'm going to pick up a little bit more rye seed to agway this week and do this whole block right to the fence, and right up to the edge here. Oh, there's that hawk again. Yes. Just went behind that tree there. I chased him out of the back, not intentionally. He's right on the other side of that cherry tree. Let's see if we can get a video shot of him. There he is. Look at him. Oh man, is he beautiful or what? Hey buddy. What you doing? You looking for those mice and moles and chipmunks? Nail them all. Feast away. Let's see if I can move a little closer. I doubt he's going to appreciate that. Get a steadier shot here. 2 hands on the camera. Look at that beautiful bird. Look at those eyes. Oh, can you see something? I'll make you a deal, Mr. Hawk. You leave my chickens alone, and I'll chase out moles and mice for you all day long. If you haven't seen my other hawk video here on the channel, just go check it out. I also have the DEC banding eaglets. Not super close up, but pretty cool nonetheless. I'm glad I charged the battery a little bit. See if I can move in a little closer. Uneven ground here. Hey, Mr. Hawk. What you doing? Mr. Hawk. So I'm about 25 feet from him, just so you know how close I actually am. I guess I didn't charge the battery enough for running low again. Don't. Uh-oh. There's the crows. Lay low, Hawk. Don't let them see you. You know they'll come harass you. Okay, I'm probably about 25 feet now. I might have been 35 before. Hey, buddy. Making him nervous. No shortage of animal sounds today, huh? Yes! He made a dive at a chipmunk, but I think he missed it. That's a shame. I'd love to see him take a couple of them out of here. Anyway, he's a beautiful bird. Where was I? Oh, it's nice to have a stable surface to set this camera on. Just dove after something. I'm going to make so much noise going over there. He missed again. He's probably too distracted from me being over here. I'd be weary of me too. Give you one last clip before I get back to talking about soil health. Uh-oh, where'd he go? Having trouble finding him in the camera. He's right back in there. Anyway, always cool to have our hawk friends visit. Guess I better put the chickens away before I continue. Oh man. As soon as I hit the record button back off, he pooped. Not that you needed to see it, but... Alright, back to soil health. About coming out after seeing him. They were hiding up under the Japanese knotweed. Come on, birds! The hungry birds! Come on! Okay, anyway, I was saying something about planting this to rye and Austrian winter pea. I realized I have an extra bag of Austrian winter pea, 2-pound bag, and I figured rather than let it sit another 6 months before I put it in for something, and rather than start with old seed for a breeding program, or for, you know, a seed production program, I'll get some new seed next spring when the time is right. In the meantime, I'll put the Austrian winter pea in here along with some rye. I'll seed this real heavy to rye, and I'll probably drill and till at least this already tilled and used production strip, and I might take it right down to the edge of the fence posts here and just load this with Austrian winter pea and rye, and then we'll have good cover crops in over the winter, legumes, fixing nitrogen, and we'll build the soil up a whole nother level. Part of the reason for my decision to do that is my success in these other cover crop. Man, I can't talk today. In these other cover crop areas. Whew. It's too cold to even use my tongue, I think. Anyway, so good success here. Austrian winter pea is starting to really take off. So is the rye. Very excited about that, and stoked to see that the cover crops are doing as well as they are. And we're supposed to have rain tonight into tomorrow, about an inch or so. So that should be really beneficial and really good timing for these cover crops to get another little boost It's actually still pretty dry here despite the rain we had last week or the week before. Our aquifers have not recovered at all, and we could use the extra moisture. I guess before we go down and take a look at the other cover crop area, I'll just give you a shot of the holy basil in here after the frost and the cold. The upper part of these plants took a little bit of a hit and they just kind of went to seed, but down here at the bottom of the plant where this heavy root base is, I guess you should have a look at that too. You can see how big and stout that plant is at the base. At least I hope you can. And when they've resprouted and they're throwing up more new leaves and new seed pods. Alright, let's go take a look at the corn block area where the cover crops are really doing well. I suppose on the way we'll just stop and have a look at the rye in here. You can see that that's doing really well in here in this roll down area. In fact, the rye here is just as tall as the rye in the over in that area where it's drilled and tilled in. So that's really encouraging, and Brad at Grow the Farm Up, thanks for the tip on that. Alright, so here we are over at the cover, the corn block area. I don't know why my talker's broken today. Anyway, things are doing really well in here. Even in this upper section, which is much more deficient soil than the lower section. The lower section has been worked longer. The soil is a little better to begin with. It's higher in organic matter. A lot of reasons that that's better. You can actually, if you look closely, you can see the transition from where it's a little darker down there to where it's a little lighter up here, and you can see the reflection in the growth of the cover crops. It's a very subtle difference, but you can see it. But I just wanted to point out how well these things are taking off. The Austrian winter peas are doing really well. They're sprinkled all through here, and as is the rye, and even the buckwheat, despite the pretty cool temps we've had, is up and doing its thing. And I have not gotten back in here for a foliar feed yet. I think I'm going to wait until after the rain and they'll have a good boost of moisture, and then I'll come back in here and probably hit them with a foliar feed. Yeah, that's it for now.